This is exactly what Crocodile wanted. The final battle in Alubana is about to start. Everybody is heading there right now. You know, Crocodile, the Baroque works, the royal army is already there. The rebel army is heading towards it, and they're all at odds with each other. Meanwhile, the king has been kidnapped, as we know, by the Baroque works, and he doesn't want anybody to fight. He doesn't want the royal guards or the rebel army to fight each other. He just wants peace, and everything that Crocodile wants is currently happening. He's taken out Luffy, you know, the leader of the Straw Hats, who happens to still be alive, by the way, which is crazy. He seemed to have been maybe saved by the water that was given to him by Toto back in Yuba, which also has just looks like it's been destroyed by Crocodile just after Toto found some water as well, which is, I mean, just devastating. The amount of like courage that Toto has to stay there and keep digging for water, even though it's been wiped out countless times by these sandstorms that have been made by Crocodile, and the fact that he keeps trying, even though, you know, all his progress gets wiped away constantly, and he has to keep trying to find water over and over again on his own in this country, in this village. He's amazing, but that water that he gave to Luffy might have actually just saved him, and I think it might have just exposed Crocodile's weakness as well, and that is water. You know, the only time Luffy was managed to do any sort of damage to him at all, or the only time we've seen Crocodile in any sort of pain, was when Luffy grabbed his arm after the water spilt on him. So maybe that's one of the reasons why Crocodile has stopped all of the rain and all the oceans and the streams of water and all that sort of stuff around Alabasta, because that is his weakness. Besides just using it as a way to start the war, as a way to turn the country against itself, that might actually be his physical weakness as well. I mean, it makes sense. So, you know, maybe something there was exposed. But again, something very interesting also happened in this episode with Miss All Sunday, aka Robin, who actually came and saved Luffy as he was about to probably die, being like suffocated in the sandpit. She shows up and drags him out of it. And I don't know why she didn't give any sort of explanation. The only question she asked is, why do people like you fight? The people with the name of D. You know, we have Monkey D. Luffy. We have, I think, Dragon D was his name, and also, of course, Gold D. Roger. They're all connected, and the name of D has some major significance that we don't know about yet, that Robin clearly knows about as well. So I knew there was a lot more to her character. Is she truly on Crocodile's side? I can't imagine so. If she just came and saved Luffy, and she also walked away earlier in the previous episode away from Crocodile to head to Alabana, but all of a sudden she showed up to save Luffy, there's got to be a reason for that. So I'm very intrigued about her character and exactly what her role is in this whole thing. But like I said, there's a lot more mystery to her that has been yet to be solved, I believe. Zoro, you can see in this episode, is deeply concerned for Luffy, having been the only other member of the Straw Hats to have fought a warlord before. You know, his fight with Mihawk, where he got absolutely destroyed. It wasn't even close. And, you know, he has every right to be worried because Crocodile is that same sort of level. And we saw what Crocodile did to Luffy, so it makes sense. But Zoro, seeing Zoro actually concerned for Luffy is something we haven't really seen before. He always seems to have like full faith that he'll get the job done. But, you know, knowing what the warlords are like, he has every right to be concerned. Vivi's the same. Vivi's obviously very concerned about him as well, even though she has this thing on her mind of millions of citizens of her country are about to potentially die, trying to protect it. She's still concerned for Luffy, which, I mean, says a lot about her and her empathy and how she is as a person. But I mean, all the Straw Hats are worried about Luffy. They all clearly care deeply about him. He's the one that brought them all together, and there's clearly a very deep friendship between all of them at this point. So there's obvious concern for Luffy, and like I said, there should be, but he is alive somehow, which, I mean, is actually a miracle. Also, Karoo returned to Vivi in this episode alongside with his family, I guess, the Supersonic Ducks they're called, and that's how they're going to get to Alabana. But I'm just super happy that Karoo's back, because I love Karoo. And at the end of the episode, there was a big twist that Igarum is still alive. I don't know how he survived that explosion. If maybe it's got something to do with Robin, aka Miss All Sunday. Maybe she saved him. I don't know. But like I said, I think there's a lot more to her than we know right now. And it wouldn't surprise me if she was involved somehow. Or maybe just Igarum managed to escape on his own and managed to get to Alabasta somehow. You know, he's in the port town right now, so he's just arrived. But him being alive is very, very interesting. I did not see that coming. I thought he was just gone for sure. So I feel like he can make a big difference in what's happening right now, because he also has information about Crocodile and stuff that he could share. So, you know, that's a pretty big twist. This episode was absolutely awesome. I'm so excited for this conflict in Alabana. What's going to happen? Are they all going to kill each other? Is Vivi and the Straw Hats going to get there before they get a chance to fight each other? Is Crocodile going to get back there to spark the flames of war even further? I don't know what's going to happen, but it's all leading up to this point, and I can't wait to see what happens. So, yeah, let's do it.